So it's around 5:30. I've just come from seeing my nephew in hospital, and it's really weird, the lessons I'm encountering on this journey of mine. Today I walk into the ward, and of course there are 4 people sharing, and of course my attention is all on my nephew, who's broken his tiny little finger and it needs to be operated on. And the guy across the room asks him, what the time is, and tell him it's 5:20, 5:15, and he asks to set the alarm for 6 for prayers. And something within me, obviously we call that the spirit, the intuition in us, the 6th sense in us, for some of us the 7th, says I should ask, why each of them are here, or in the ward, hospital, whatever. And I asked the guy next door, and he says amputation. And I'm obviously at a loss for words. What do you say to somebody who's just lost their leg? And it's as a result of sugar, diabetes. The guy opposite, who asked for the time, says I should come to check, and of course I'm a bit afraid. I'm like, what am I going to see? And he shows me a gunshot wound to his abdomen. And the guy next to him, very old and frail man, couldn't even speak, struggling to catch his breath, every single breath. And naturally, I don't pray out loud, but I believe in the transferring of energy, and I believe that energy is everything. So I ask if I can pray for them, and they, in fact, all of them are like, please do. So I lay my hands on them, and I pray, and what comes up for the first guy is peace, 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 find peace within, find peace within, find peace within, and you will prosper. And of course, once I'm done, I tell him, I say, you need to find peace, because your heart, your mind, it's all raging, emotions are running wild. You need to find peace. You cannot erase what has happened. You can't take back what's happened. You need to find peace. And he says, thank you so much. You're right. I'm trying to find peace. And I moved to the second guy, the one who is struggling to, catch his breath, and is in such pain. And I just, place my hands on his chest and his back, and I pray, and I pray, and I pray, and I whisper in his ears, that he must breathe in healing, and he must exhale the pain. Whether he understood me or not, whether I made any sense or not, I don't know. And I move on to the last guy, the one who's had his leg amputated. And so praying for him. And the first thing that comes up for me is, this man feels like his dignity has been stripped of him. His manhood has been stripped of him. And the first thing that comes to mind is to say to him that he may have lost a portion of his physical body, but his spirit is still whole. And essentially that's what we serve. We serve our spirit. We don't serve our false selves, or we shouldn't, at least. That's where the ego versus the spirit comes in. And as much as these guys may have thought that, I helped them in some way, if there's anybody that was helped, was me. For the man who lost his leg. You know, it reminded me of all the flaws on my body that I'm so conscious about, the stretch marks I have, the cellulite I have, but I'm still fully functional, you know. And for the man who's struggling to catch his breath, I can breathe. I may have chronic asthma, but I can breathe on my own, you know, with the help of a pump now and then. And the man with a bullet wound, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine what that must feel like. I can't imagine what trauma may be attached or is attached to being faced with a gun and having a gun, you know, on you, and feeling a bullet surge straight through you. If there's anybody that learned anything today, it's me. I truly learned how blessed I am. Namaste.